Greetings, happy Monday, good morning. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in, our Mindful Motivation for Mindset Mastery session. I trust you had a beautiful weekend and ready for a wonderful new week. This is the last full week of the month of July. How's this month been for you? For these sessions, if you followed me before, you know that I like to just feel into and share some ideas around the phase of the moon that we're in, because when we really get into telling the truth about ourselves to ourselves, sharing our unique gifts, it's really important to follow our intuition. And one of the best ways to do that is to follow the phases of the moon and then have a look at how is it impacting you. Sometimes, before I really immersed myself in this whole aspect of following the phases of the moon and reflecting on what it was doing, I was starting to find that even without knowing what was going on, that it's the effect was there, if that makes sense. So the idea being that at a new moon, your intention or attention goes within. It's the dark moon, and that's where we were last week. We had a new moon last week. This week, what we're affected by is the first quarter phase of the moon, and it's in the sign of Scorpio. This is a really important piece around, if you follow these before, you know that I have a deck of cards called Liberate Your Inner Truth. This first quarter phase of the moon in Scorpio is really about that. That's a really underscored piece around this, because at the first quarter phase of the moon we start to take action on the intentions, the seeds we planted, the ideas that we had to put in motion and actually start doing at the new moon, so last week. So now, like I say, we're in the sign of Scorpio with that first quarter phase of the moon, and it's going to ask questions. It's going to encourage you to ask questions to yourself about yourself. So what I really encourage you to do this week is, like I say, it's about taking action, moving forward, but maybe you could create a wee bit of a pattern to just check in. Because sometimes we can get into doing things because we should, or because society or the group we belong, or the people that we're hanging out with, or the roles that we take upon ourselves. We put on a wee bit of a mask. Who are you and how are you when no one else is around, when nobody's looking? And is there a sense of authenticity? So don't be surprised if you find yourself asking yourself lots of questions this week. That's part of this whole vibe. Taking action, moving forward, and then one of my favorite questions, pause and say, how do I feel about myself here? Doing these actions, not doing these actions, putting this process into place or not. How does it make me feel about me? The key piece here, and this first quarter phase of the moon with Scorpio, and the sun is in the sign of Leo, so that's the flashy, the outer perspective of who you are. And so that can bring about a bit of a magicalness, but also really help you align with your authentic nature, with your soul's calling, with your inner mission. Does that make sense? If I bring anything up in these sessions that brings some confusion, or you need some support or guidance, put it in the comments below or message me directly. This whole vibe around letting go and around aligning with the truth of you this is my life's work, and my intention is to help you find the ease in your own best way. Because some of the tips and ideas that I share, they're not going to resonate with everybody, but I can help you look at what questions do you need to ask yourself? What patterns do you need to let go of? What kind of pieces that are maybe keeping you stuck or not looking at the power that you have access to within you? So all that being said, I've just been shuffling my letting go guidance cards here. because usually when there, regardless of what phase of the moon it is that we're in and being affected by, as we evolve and become more truthful and more true to our own soul's calling, there's always going to be layers of things that come up. And even sometimes layers will repeat themselves, like a different nuance of something. So all that being said, just focus on that for a second as I pull a card, and what can we let go of in order to really find that creative spark, that authentic, truth-filled, soul-filled aspect for you. And what's come up is jealousy. That's a beautiful card to have come up. So when you use that energy of the Scorpio first quarter moon, I should say, see, do you compare yourselves with other people? Do you look at how somebody else has achieved something, or the things that they're doing or experiencing, and think, what about me? Or I'm not good enough, or they are more gifted or more deserving or more worthy than I am? How does jealousy show up, and what can you do to maybe acknowledge it? One of these things about letting go, one of the things that I really encourage you to do is have some gratitude. Just acknowledge for these things of the irritation or the jealousy or attachment or any kind of things like that. Because once we tell ourselves there is, then have some appreciation for it, because you put it in place for some specific reason, but maybe it's not suiting you anymore. Maybe it's not aligned with the authentic nature of you. So see how that comes up, and see if you can put that down. So let's see. I was just shuffling the tarot cards here. This is a nice one too to come up for this first quarter phase of the moon. It's the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles speaks to, as you can see from the symbology of it, it's keeping things flowing and balanced and ease. So where is your sense of ease? How do I feel about myself? It's such a beautiful question to be asking, to bring in that Two of Pentacles energy, because Pentacles is to do with well-being, with abundance, with fiscal. It can be fiscal abundance, but it can be abundance on all levels of you. When I talk about all levels of you, I'm talking about your PEMS, your PEMS, your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So where is your sense of abundance and well-being, and are they in balance? More questions that you could be asking. And also, like I said, the first quarter phase of the moon is about taking action, starting to move forward on those auspicious, awesome intentions and ideas, and sharing all of you, sharing your truth, sharing your unique gifts. That's kind of what all of our responsibility is in this life, is to, I'm just thinking of I think it's an African proverb that basically says, our purpose here is to find our purpose and then share our purpose. Find our gift, share our gift. Once you know what lights you up and what's your quirkiness and what's your unique piece, then it's up to you to share it with the world. That's what we're all doing for the collective, for one another. Now we're going to have 3 of the Healing with the Angels cards to see how they can support us with this letting go of jealousy, with this embracing the action steps with our intentions. So the first one that's come up is children. I love that. That's really, really encouraging us to get in touch with our inner child, with what gives you that sense of play. You know, that question I just have been saying, how do I feel about myself, is you want to feel a sense of harmony and balance and ease and play and fun. So can you bring that into your intentions and your action steps? And a little bit of that every day is such an important part. And befriend yourself. You know, when we treat ourselves with loving kindness, we become our own best friend, then we can actually, that's one of the best ways to attract our own tribe. Releasing that jealousy and just be friends. Being friends with ourselves is such a critical part to create a sense of ease and serenity. That's such a beautiful piece all around this. Taking action, yes, but doing it in your right way, in your right rhythmic way. So that can mean, do you schedule yourself so that you can have some inner reflection piece time, to where you can just reflect. Am I doing the things that I feel that give me a sense of yes, that give me the sense of I am following my soul's purpose? And then just sometimes that may mean that you need to adjust or do a little bit of a shift. So now, to wrap up our session here and send you off into this, like I said, last week of the month of July, we're going to have one of the Liberate Your Inner Truth cards and see what comes up. And the one that's come up is lovely support to everything that I've shared with you on this one. It's I am charismatic. And the affirmation, or this is just to help you kind of reflect or embrace this a wee bit more. My versatility makes me so comfortable in all situations. I make it a point to uplift the people I speak with. I leave each person feeling better than I found them. I am charismatic. You are charismatic. May everything that I shared with you here help you have a beautiful week ahead. Like I said, if you have any questions or need a wee bit more support or guidance in any of this, navigating these energies, we live in such auspicious times. I trust that you can feel that and make the most of what you have in front of you too. Much love to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.